Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome once again to another amazing episode of Bumps and Bruises podcast, a podcast brought to you by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. Either on my left or my right, I'm joined again by Derek, aka Bama 1392, and we're gonna talk about some wrestling. We did some traveling over the weekend. I was in Phoenix, but on the same coast that I was at, I saw some good wrestling. So let's get into it. So one thing that I want to do different, we don't need to go over SmackDown. SmackDown
No.
before pay-per-view is just to sell a pay-per-view, which is funny because they don't really sell pay-per-views anymore. We had a couple mixed tags and all this stuff, and all roads led to the weekend pay-per-view. The first one being Worlds Collide. Worlds
Triple
Collide
A.
is yep, it's a AAA. Worlds Collide is the first pay-per-view together that with the WWE after they acquired AAA. And it was pretty much what I expected. It was a showcase of stars from AAA with a mix of people that know how to wrestle that style. So the pay-per-view opened up with Mr. Iguana, who's now the biggest internet sensation since Joe Hendry, since Orange Cassidy. Mr. Iguana, very charismatic. Aerostar and Octagon Jr., who is a legend, and for those of you who don't know, was originally Penta's character, but they switched over. The Octagon Jr. stayed within the family versus Lince Dorado, Cruz del Toro, and Dragon Lee. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Lince Dorado leave WWE? Was he a
I
part of
believe so.
AAA, or did he just come back for this?
He might have just came back. I'm not sure if he was a part of AAA, but
Okay.
isn't okay. So I know Octagon. Isn't Penta supposed to be the counterpart to
Yes.
Octagon? Because it's
Yes.
like Pentagon.
Yeah.
Was it back in the day?
It's supposed to be one. He's supposed to. So originally, when the original Octagon Jr. retired, they made Penta that person, and then I guess they had a situation that all led to just this this particular character be reverted back to the original wrestlers family, and then Pentagon became Octagon Jr., who we now know as Pentagon in the WWE. That individual, that wrestler, became the whole new character Pentagon, and then it was like it was a whole thing. So basically, yeah, it looks like Lince Dorado came back quietly to NXT as first an NXT coach and then recently on air and talent. So that's cool. So because I was like, wait a minute, where did he come from? So they basically showcased and put on a hell of an opener. I don't know. Did you watch that match?
Yeah, I watched the whole Worlds Collide. It was good. It was good. I was moving around a lot, but
yeah,
I got to watch it.
So pretty much, so basically, Team AAA got the win out the gate. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it was a flipping fall away slam that Octagon Jr. comes out, and then out of nowhere, which led us to the Saturday match. Dirty Dom came out and mocked Octagon Jr. and attacked, prompting Octagon to attack Dom. This was a great way to set up a match that probably they were like, listen, this guy needs to be featured on a bigger match. So Octagon, the winner of this is, in my opinion, of this whole weekend is Octagon Jr. and Mr. Iguana. Number one, Octagon Jr. got featured in 2 WWE PLEs back to back.
Yeah.
And
same day.
And then Mr. Iguana had a crazy pop. And the internet is like, it's insane. And then we had the first time teaming Shephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice versus Chick Tormenta and Dallas, who are basically mainstays in the AAA women's division. This match highlighted the type of wrestling that AAA puts on for women, and of course they gave a couple a couple nuggets here for the pervos out there, in which they did the double devil's kiss, and the crowd was real happy in that. La Primera, which is Vaquer, she hit her SVB and won the match for her team. The amazing thing is that Dalis is Vaquer's mentor.
Is it
in
really?
AAA and in real life. So that was probably something really special for them to share the ring together on such a because although it was on YouTube, the fact that WWE was behind it, I'm almost certain that's probably the biggest eye or the most eyes that they've had on their product in God knows how long. I'm not saying that they weren't always putting together a good product, but it's like when you got that WWE name behind you, that's a whole different thing.
That's a big push.
Yeah, that's a big push. And then you had
Legato. Didn't she? Huh? She worked overtime. No, she worked overtime.
Double duty. So did Dominic, and so did
right?
Yeah. She was in
SmackDown. She was in AAA, and she wrestled the last one.
Yep.
Okay.
And I guess that's why they gave her off on Monday, and they didn't want to burn her out.
Because
yeah. So we had another, tag match. It was Legado de Fantasma versus Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. And Psycho Clown and Pagano. So basically, it was Santos Escobar, Berto, and Angel versus a AAA team. It was of course a high flying match. The winners were, I believe, Legado de Fantasma. I caught the tail end of this particular match. Psycho Clown is a beast. A lot of people need to understand how great this luchador is. I was about to call him a wrestler, and it was amazing. But I think the match of the night was the fatal 4-way for the NXT North American title.
Yes,
outside of the main event, I'm talking about like in terms of a match that was kind of like showcasing talent. I think you had 4 different styles here. Because you had Javon Evans, who's basically indie / WWE PC training, and then you had Ray Phoenix, who's Mr. Worldwide himself, and then you had the Laredo Kid, who kind of had a AAA upbringing, but also has done the indies himself, and then you had Ethan Page, which is pretty much a sports entertainer, in my opinion. I know he was on the indies, but he's always been with 3 letters, next to his name. He's always been with some company getting a lot of bread. And the only issue I had with this match is that I wanted Ethan Page to walk out losing. So that was one thing.
Because I had my pick. I said I had my pick.
Oh, I honestly wanted Javon Evans to win. Because it doesn't make sense to anybody else. Laredo Kid, unless he's moving over to NXT full time, which I think would take away from AAA.
Yeah.
And then I think Ray Phoenix does not deserve this. I don't want to call it a demotion, but he needs to stay on Friday nights so he could travel with the main roster. That's how he gets more comfortable. That's how he gets over, because more eyes are on the Friday product than they are on the Tuesday product. It's no knock on NXT. NXT in itself.
That's just facts.
Yeah, NXT is amazing, but I think what Ray Phoenix now needs is the brand behind him, and I think they'll get there. And then what might have been the match of the entire weekend, these boys wrestled their asses off. The Vikingo versus Chad Gable. Did you watch this match in its entirety?
No, I did. It was great.
This match, oh my God. It's one of those things that you understand why Gable's in the position that he's in. You understand why they're like, oh man, he's never gonna win. It's like, no, he is our Kurt Angle right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people forgot that Kurt Angle was pushed from the get. Chad Gable is an organic version of that, as in he's been pushing himself up through the ranks. I think that Chad Gable is going to win a singles title this year, and it's going to be a lot bigger than we normally assume. I think he's going to win the IC title. He might not win against Dom, but I think he's going to have a run with that. And I can see him within the next 18 months having a world heavyweight title run.
Okay.
I see it. Like he's really good, and like WWE loves him, and he's killing it.
Yeah.
And then like honestly, if this is how it's gonna come down to, like if this is how all the AAA pay-per-views are gonna deliver, I'm on board. Like this is phenomenal. Like, you know what I mean? Like these are great matches. What did you think of the show overall? Like what are some matches that you liked?
Overall, I love the Fatal 4-Way. I love the match that the women put on because it was a really good match. Between that tag team match that the women did. But that was my first like AAA viewing experience. So I knew we were gonna get that luchador style of wrestling. So I was definitely excited for it. Like I was waiting for that one to start on YouTube, trying to make sure I didn't miss a beat with that one. So it was really good.
Okay. That's what's up. So what do you think about the main event? Was it the highlight of the pay-per-view, or did you have another match that was top tier?
I'd say yes, that one was definitely a highlight of the pay-per-view. I low-key wanted Chad to win. I know it wasn't gonna happen because Chad's not going to
he's not a AAA. Yeah, and then it's like one of those things that it's like good, you don't wanna make your the brand that you just acquire seem secondary.
Yeah,
because I 100% they didn't buy that a AAA for the IP. They bought it for the talent that they had there. Because they want to showcase that talent and kind of have like Lucha Libre on lock. Because anybody that comes to AAA is now going to get a like first look to go through the WWE system, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you know, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about what they considered, you know, the crown jewel of the weekend, for lack of another terminology, and that was Money in the Bank. Now, Money in the Bank, of course, it featured Shephanie Vaquer, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, Julia, and Alexa. So, what do you think about that? Because I knew that match was going to open the show.
Yeah.
I felt like it was going to open the show because the only time that the men open the show if there's a major angle in the women's one.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So I definitely say I knew that one was going to open. As far as that match, I liked it. There was some talent in there that I was like, okay, this is just for them to get on a pay-per-view, get in front of our eyes, and you know, get a little push to kind of go that way. Because they weren't winning.
Okay. And I assume you're talking about Stephanie and Julia.
Yeah. Basically.
So did you think that WWE highlighted them well in this match? Like were they like I felt like there were focal points.
Yeah, I mean everybody had their moments to shine. You know what I'm saying? Outside of, you know, not winning the match, but everybody had their moments to shine with their spots and everything. So I feel like the balance was really good. It didn't just lean one way as far as that match went. Love the outcome for sure. That was my pick to take it, but I think it did really good as far as, you know what I'm saying, like I said, letting everyone get their shine, especially those newer NXT come ups that we have.
Yeah, that was actually really good. So I didn't have the advantage of watching it live. Of course, Naomi won.
Me neither. I watched it the next day.
I watched it later on that afternoon when I had some downtime. I think Naomi winning was the best call. It was the only call, in my opinion.
Yes,
because you have her, you get to prove her as a heel. She doesn't even have to win. I hope she does, but she doesn't have to win. It could be. They could do it as a culmination of somebody like Jade or Bianca interferes in her cash in after she gives in the briefcase and then kind of like
they ring the bell,
messes it up for her. Because I think that would honestly turn it into a blood feud, like a legit blood feud, which I don't think we've had in the women's division in like a real long time. Yeah. Like I understand we had the Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, but that was more like, oh, you guys cheated me out of the belt more than you taking Dom. You know what I mean? Like I feel like this could be something like man, I got to kill you, or unalive you, depending on what generation are, because you just cost me like the belt, like this is what I've been working towards, and you mess this up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I kind of like, where she's going. She's now the Miss Money in the Bank, and then of course she had it out in BET Awards that was in town. She's been seen walking around with her briefcase. Like, I love it. I love it for her. And I'm happy. Like, I want to see where this goes. However, we had a match followed up, and it was a quick match. And I think again, is to show and highlight brand new talent. I felt like Octagon Jr. versus Dom was very well done. It wasn't the longest match, but it got the point across. It kind of like gave us a little bit of
a little teaser
of what can happen. I know a lot of people were upset. If you're Octagon Jr., it was like, oh man, like they brought him up to job. No, he didn't job. They put him in a marquee position on an actual PLE.
Yeah.
Under their main brand. So like the people that didn't watch AAA, they saw this guy and they're probably like, oh, who is he? Is he like a Penta? And and I think that's a win-win for everybody involved.
No, I definitely thought it was great. Because that wasn't originally supposed to be a match. It was only supposed to be 4 matches on the card.
Yep. And then
so that one got put in because of earlier that day.
And I think honestly that might have been the whole plan. I think the confrontation and everything. People were like, oh, they just threw this in last minute. I think WWE realizes that they don't have enough time to push a story. So Dominic is one of those superstars that he's dynamic in the point that he doesn't need to fight anybody, that he's in a long-term storyline. He could just jump in because of who his character is and just like cause issues with somebody.
No, now, I definitely agree.
Finally, we have the IC women's title highlighted on a pay-per-view. We had Lyra Valkyrie, aka Bird Lady, as Becky Lynch called her on Monday Night Raw, versus Becky for the IC champion. It was a decent match, but the thing that I liked at the match was that Becky finally won. And I love Lyra, but you finally have a credible heel holding that belt, and I believe the belt instantly got elevated. And then, what do you think? And this is something that I've been calling for weeks.
Yeah, so I definitely say it got elevated because it's Becky. Period.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Even if she was a babyface and Lyra was a heel, it still got elevated because of that name. I definitely knew it was going to change hands. It's been a while since they finally brought out that belt and she's held it, so it was time. I feel like I said that last week. It was time for it to go ahead and switch hands. So I personally would have rather it been Bayley. You know what I'm saying? But she was taken out. We'll talk about that part a little later.
Yeah, not to get ahead of it. And I like the angle that they did afterwards, where Lyra is kind of like she had some character work done there
with the ending, with the hand
with the ending, and it was like, oh, I'm angry, like you know what I mean. Although it was kind of her fault as a quote unquote dumb baby face. She was like, oh, I'm so confident that I'll raise your hand if you beat me. And then it was kind of like that was the straw that broke the camel's back, like at the end. And I like what happened. And of course, the fourth match on the card was the amazing men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Like,
was it amazing?
I thought it was amazing. I honestly, I sat through it. I watched this live.
Okay.
And I didn't know who was gonna win. Like, honestly, like we all went in knowing that it was gonna be Seth, that was a logical answer. That was the the money line one. But they booked it in a way that there was certain parts that I was like, oh, they're gonna do it. Like when literally it was a last second win for Seth. Like they booked this match very good. and like, you know, and then they push certain stories that now seem completely fresh going from here on out. Like, of course, Solo Sikoa, which was amazing.
So
in this
cold.
match.
He did his big one on that one.
Like, man, when he was up there and then he looked at the heels, at the faces, and he was like, yeah, like, and then he went to do somebody else's turn and then he got jumped. That was hilarious.
Like,
and
he
then
was taunting.
He was an MVP.
Everybody.
It was like he was spamming the emote on his controller the entire night. And it was funny as hell, but he was still a monster. Like, he wasn't like a chicken shit heel. He was. They were like jumping him, but he was still like holding his own. And then, you know, it's like, it's not just Seth that has a crew. He has a crew too. Unfortunately, his crew fell apart. And I can't wait till Friday, because I feel like Fatu is going to explain that he was biding his time. That he wanted to screw him out the big one, of kind of like how Solo screwed him out, him being in the match.
Right, because Fatu being in, if he was in that match,
woo, he would have done a moonsault off the top of a ladder onto somebody.
Lord have mercy, the carnage. I probably would have had to fly to LA to see that live.
But I'm glad that we got something second best, you know, him appearing, him finally turning. And I think he's going to get a monster push. And I don't think they're going to do anything with his character except, you know, he's going to be like a Stone Coldish, where he's not going to be like, oh gosh, G. Willikers, Batman. He's going to be like the same person, except his alliances are going to be different. He's going to probably operate off of respect instead of like, oh, you my peeps. Like, you know what I mean? And like, he's going to walk on his own merit.
Yeah.
Which I think it's a long time coming, but damn, LA Knight. I thought LA Knight had it, but
yeah, it was some moments. It was definitely some moments.
Like, I was like, they're really gonna do it. They're really gonna do it. But like I said before, man, I just don't think it's his time. I think his time passed. I do think he's gonna get a hell of a storyline, as we saw after Monday Night Raw, who he jumped. I think that's gonna be a thing. I'm curious to see him versus, it was Bronson that he jumped, right? Or who did he jump?
I thought it was Breaker.
Yeah. That's gonna be
that's the B&B security.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna feed families there.
Oh no, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I do agree with you with I feel like his time passed. They waited too long. They should have did it like he was hot, and I'm not even an LA Knight fan. He was hot right before he got that US title. Once he dropped it, you should have pushed him.
Yeah. And I don't know, man.
Make him fight some of the people he fought.
Love it or hate it, the E always finds a way to make things relevant again. So I don't know. We might be talking about like, oh man, that's crazy. He's a champ now. Who knows? Because I feel like Monday Night Raw is going to still continue course and be the worker belt, as we saw. After the match, after the Money in the Bank match, and Seth won. We had the tag match.
Yep.
And which, like, literally, WWE knows how to get the crowd in the palm of their hand. Like, regardless of how it happened. But the fact that we had R-Truth in the finish, now Ron Killings, like, that was cinema right there. Like, he did it. Cody hit his ender, his finisher. 1, 2, 3. And then they told the story over the past four days and a few weeks, which is that Jay is hurt. Jay is not focused. Yeah, he's doing too much. And, of course, I like that they teased Jake Paul, Cena turning on each other. That was cool.
Yeah.
The miscommunication, which is like you kind of expected. These are two guys that believe that they're the greatest at the same time. And, egos weren't always going to prevail in this situation, so it's one of those things that it's like, I'm really glad that this happened. And honestly, like, I liked how this pay-per-view ended. What about you? What did you think overall? If you had to put a grade or star rating on this pay-per-view, what would it be?
If I had to put a grade on a pay-per-view, it would be an A. but it will be a flat out A. No A plus. I feel like we knew Seth was gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Seth didn't need to win. You know
we don't know because they started teasing what I was been saying weeks now, that he might not go after Jay or that belt even. I think he's on big Juan Cena. And, the Monday Night Raw answered that question immediately.
So, I feel like, I guess, I get it. But I still feel like he don't need the briefcase to get a title match with anybody. He's still Seth Rollins. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
But he's not on SmackDown. I think this gives his group a reason to go back and forth without having a co-branded pay-per-view.
Touche. I mean, I get that part. I get
that part. I mean? And I think his cash in is going to come in sooner than later. I think it's going to happen no later than SummerSlam. I think we'll see Seth Rollins as a champ by SummerSlam.
He got 19 days left, so I mean,
well,
it's gonna be soon.
No, SummerSlam is in August.
No, I'm talking about Cena has 19 days left.
Or 19 dates, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's funny because he didn't mention the fact that he was in Mexico. So it's technically supposed to be 18 dates. But because it was Juan Cena, it didn't count.
But my whole thing is, like I said in the group chat, everywhere is supposed to be the last time. Right? He's been to LA twice.
Yeah. No, he was at Bakersfield.
No, he was in LA. Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
LA.
Well, that was the last time. The last time.
For now.
No, wait. Technically,
yeah.
It was the last time on Raw in that particular city. He's shown up in different shows.
But that's the last time in that city.
Yeah, but it's the last Monday Night Raw.
Hear me out.
Last Monday Night Raw in California.
So hear me out.
In LA.
Hear me out, though. So with that being said, he has the farewell belts, right? Those are his goodbye belts. Goodbye to whatever.
They had two different. They had two different colors for LA.
Two different colors, but there's two LA belts. I'm just saying.
Okay.
It's not that important, but it's important to me a little bit.
Which state belt are you gonna buy? Which city belt are you buy? Colorado?
Which they're not coming. They're not coming here at all.
Are you sure there's nothing?
I've checked.
Okay.
Oh yeah, nah. Wrestling barely comes here. Like they haven't been back since 23. Since my first Mania, they came like March before that Mania.
Okay.
And haven't been back since then. So yeah,
they could announce something. You never know.
If they do, I'll be there. If not, we'll see. I'll probably honestly get his very last one.
Okay.
Since I missed out on LA because that one looked cool.
It's gonna be Boston colors. I can almost guarantee that.
Okay.
Okay.
It could be pink and green for all I care, bro. I'm still gonna grab it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, that LA one.
I'm waiting on the New York colors. I'm gonna get the New York. He has to go through New York. I mean, I think it's gonna be SummerSlam. I hope they give him Nick colors for that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that would be dope. But that was the end of the pay-per-view. And then we got Monday Night Raw, the last minute decision. Me and Rand were not gonna go.
Y'all weren't?
We were thinking about it, we were trying to get tickets and then
get the good
tickets. We temporarily we were like and then we were already there. We were literally in the box office and then we said, you know what, screw it. And we got tickets and then we do what we do and proceeded to watch, in my opinion, probably the most stacked Monday Night Raw since the Netflix debut. And I think arguably it's actually better than that because that one had a lot of talking. It had The Rock coming out and now what is deemed the most atrocious promo since, I don't know, since the last time he was in WWE. It was like the storyline killing promo. But yeah, this one, woo. So First of all, they announced King of the Ring went men and women's. And I love this to death. I love the fact that it was fatal 4-way, fatal 4-way, fatal 4-way, and then and then 2 matches, and then the ones that win those 2 matches have a final in Saudi.
Yep.
I could care less that it's in Saudi, but I like this. I think more tournaments should be like this.
Oh no, I love.
We don't need to have 16 freaking matches. Like this brings it down to like 4.
Goes down to what?
5, 6 matches. 6 matches altogether.
Yeah.
And then like condense the time, and then you get it there. Like, but the only thing that I like is that they've spoiled Asuka's return.
Yeah, because
they straight had her in the bracket like an hour and a half before they announced it on TV that she's coming back.
They shouldn't have even announced it at all. They should have just had it blank, how they have a blank men's slot.
Yep.
And that should have been it. Especially she's been gone for so long.
But I honestly think that this is gonna be fire. I think my secret pick is gonna be Asuka. I think Asuka is gonna at least make it to the finals, hands down.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I don't know about anybody else. It's a wide open field. I feel like I would give it to Shephanie Vaquer, but I don't know if she's gonna win.
For a title shot already.
Mm-hmm. I think it's too soon. I think Roxanne Perez is the kind of like the outside. First of all, Roxanne Perez is the truth. Dog, her character is being done very well. She came in and it's like it's making Liv look crazy because Liv is still focused on the fact that she's like, yo, like you so like no, she was honest in the backstage segment after she won that first match. It was 100% true. She didn't do anything to Liv.
Mm-hmm.
She just pinned what's it called, the other person.
Yep.
Liv didn't have a problem. It wasn't her. So
it's not that
what did you think about the opening match? Sorry, excuse me. The opening match was a match that I didn't know I wanted until they gave it to us. First things first, let's backtrack. The show opened up with John Cena coming out, running it down, and as soon as he started talking shit about our truth, and you heard that like the CM Punk song, I was like, yes. It immediately, like, I completely forgot that they haven't even crossed paths, like one-on-one. Like, you know what I mean? They, of course, have been multi-man matches, like Royal Rumble, but they have. And I was like, a lot of people are like, boo, CM Punk is going to Saudi. But in storyline, it makes sense. Heel John Cena saying, yeah, you want this shot, this is where you got to go. And then him going on social media and reposting what CM Punk like said, or reposting the screenshot of the match that he was talking about. Man, that is pure cinema. I like it. What about you? What do you think? Do you think it makes sense character-wise?
I mean, yes. I will say I do love when wrestling makes it to social media. Kind of like how with Kofi and Woods throwing Big E out of the New Day. And it took the Twitter even to Big E's girlfriend, now fiance. Hopping in, and she ain't even in the company. You know what I'm saying? So
she's not even a worker. She's just she's a civilian.
Like, but she had some shots fired, bro. So with that, I think I would have wanted CM Punk to be closer to one of the last people he fought because they have that iconic rivalry. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is more so what I wanted, but I'm still here for it because they're gonna put on a banger. You know what I'm saying? It's the history that they got is insane. And
I can see Cody interfering and costing him the match, and then CM Punk winning, and then you know who?
Cody winning, or Cody interfering, or Ron Killings interfering.
I could see CM Punk winning the belt, and then all of a sudden, cue his music, Mr. Money in the Bank.
Now that makes sense.
because it's like who would he enjoy catching in the and literally CM Punk would have to come in with a Glock and shoot that man. It's like, nah, son, like this is like yo, dog. And as a matter of fact, he teased it yesterday or the day before when he came out where both of them were there and just showed the briefcase. Like, yo,
just held it up.
Like my man just was aura farming, bro. He was dripped out in aura. The team looked great. He looked great. He didn't even come out and say anything. He didn't have it. It was just like, that's all I got to tell you. Notice he didn't do that to Jay. Nah, he was like, big dog. Look what I got right here for you.
I mean, it's true. That's true. That's true. It does. Him cashing in on CM Punk does make sense, though.
Or John. Either way, I think he's gonna like John Cena might say he's gonna ruin wrestling, but the catalyst to bring wrestling to his worst thing is Seth, like evil Seth Rollins. Like, you know what I mean? Like, man, this guy, like, he's doing it. A lot of people doubted that he was gonna get the Raw belt over. He did.
Oh, it sure.
And then now he's killing it. He's killing it with money. One day, he just came out, and the fact that he came out and interacted with John Cena and CM Punk instead of Jey Uso and Gunther, best thing.
Yeah.
And then we got the match that I didn't even understand why they gave this to us, but I was very happy. AJ Styles versus Chad Gable. Son. Styles clash, everything. Chad Gable and him put on an amazing match. WWE is just treating us like they're like, here's another one for you. Like that was a hot opening, now here's a hot match.
Look.
And then we got we got a pay-per-view worthy fatal four-way for a tournament. We got Rhea, Liv Morgan, Kairi Sane, and Roxanne Perez. And they put on a hell of a match. And I think the finish was perfect. When it looked like Kairi Sane was gonna win, and then Roxanne Perez just came in and snuck in the pin. That was classic. What did you think about this match? I think it used all the competitors well without making anybody seem weak.
Yes,
and it also made Roxanne's victory not seem like she's a chicken shit, but more like she's very smart. She waited her opportunity, and she's a woman of her word because she not one time lifted a finger against Liv.
But you know what? If you think about it, though, she's just a better version of Liv. As far as the Judgment Day thing goes, I think about how Liv came in against Rhea, you know what I'm saying? And then the outcome of that, now you got Roxanne Perez, you know what I'm saying, doing the same thing, just as she's the younger version.
And she's smarter. And she has not done anything on paper. That's why everybody's like, yo, why are you so mad? Because she hasn't done anything.
But Liv know what it is.
Yeah, Liv real recognize real.
Lived and did it. You know what I'm saying?
But it's but Liv was more intentional with it. Like Roxanne is like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to be your homegirl.
Liv was on that revenge tour. Because remember, she got taken out by Rhea. So that was the
Roxanne is just like I could, like Roxanne was like, I could be a better version of you. Like I think me and Dom looks better, but she hasn't said it.
No,
us as the crowd.
Well, we peep game.
Yeah,
for sure. So I like how it finished. I am excited to see who the other three are gonna be because it looks like I'm looking at the bracket now. It looks like SmackDown, SmackDown and Raw, like they're literally gonna fight each other for one of each, or for two to be in that final in Saudi. Yep. So I do like that. I do like when the brands do go against each other. Yeah, it gives me that old school SmackDown versus Raw vibes. So I did like that one.
So then we had the segment between Becky Lynch coming out, cutting her promo, and then gets interrupted by again Bird Lady. That's I hope that name sticks because it's hilarious. And then she was cutting a heel promo, and then Lyra comes out, but then we get the surprise of the night. In my opinion, like in terms of returns, Bayley is back after all the stuff that we're like, oh, poor Bayley. And I am gonna say this. I think I said this before. I think that this was the plan all along. I think that at a certain point, somebody was like, this storyline is not like, we need to give this an injection and not make Bailey the heel. Like, you know what I mean? I think
I can't lie.
Yeah, but I think this works out better because it's like she's been healed for so long, man.
Yeah, I mean, she's only been babyface for like a year or so.
Yeah, you know it's like she was a heel for like 6 years prior to that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think this was the right thing. And then the segment of the night was when right after, like literally there, like Becky was walking out of the ring when this happened. R-Truth came out and cut what I think was his best promo ever. What do you think?
Best promo ever? Second.
Like, in terms of honesty, like I feel like, you know, the Truth shall set you free promo was, he was angry and they finally gave him a mic in front of a hot crowd. Like, this is like I'm smarter now. You know what I mean?
He got years on this belt. So
he's not like, I'm not angry. I'm not, you know, he's like, nah, I'm here to be me and I'm here to like control my narrative. But what was shocking was the hair, man.
Hey, listen.
What did you think about that? You as a loctician, dog.
Let me go ahead and take over this part of the conversation real quick. Okay,
go ahead, man. Walk us through this.
I was baffled. All right. First off, he came in, you know what I'm saying? Hopped on top of the announce table, took the mask off like he a YN. I'm just saying. But he cut his promo, which was great. He had the crowd behind him and everything else. He took out them scissors, boy. And my heart dropped because I knew what was coming. I knew where it was going. He took out them scissors and it panned up to his face. And he got the cutting. And it was a wrap, bro. I was like, oh, this is a different person.
Have you seen he didn't fully reveal it, but when he was redoing the song, like it just came out, I think yesterday, late evening.
He
didn't go bald. He has just the design all over his head now.
It's design. Yep, it's the design all over his head now. So I like it. I'm here for it. I need him and Cena to fight again though. I need him and Cena to fight again, but him fight as Ron Killings. I need him to fight as that TNA champion that we had back in the day.
I think you take the belt from Cena. I think Cena gives him the honor of beating, of losing to him. I don't know, unless it's a non-title match.
I don't know. Low-key, look, we talked about it before. Ron Killings with the belt is different than R-Truth with the belt.
Yeah,
so I'm here for that too. But
and you got a way out of it with Seth.
I mean, yes. Give him the title for like a week. You know what I'm saying? Give it to him for a week, just to put some respect on that man's name. Give it to him for a week.
He doesn't even say respect. He says respect. That's what I love about it. I thought they were like, oh man, we're going with the Birdman. No, he said respect.
Thank God we didn't go with the Birdman.
He said, give me some respect. Oh my, no, he was like, respect.
It's the fact that this man said, R-Truth, I'm in control now, or I'm driving now. I was like, oh, this man, he crazy. This man is nuts. He got an alter ego. He got a Sasha Fierce. I'm like, this is insane. So I'm here for it. I can't wait for Friday.
Okay.
I need him to come back out Friday. I need some type of segment.
What about this 4-way though? Another pay-per-view caliber match. Braun Breaker, Penta, Dominic, Sami Zayn. All 4 guys were over. All 4 guys, and then bro, this match was
gonna win it though. But
that's a crazy thing. I would have been happy with anybody winning here.
I ain't gonna hold you. I wanted Dom, bro.
You wanted Dom? You wanted Dirty Dom to be King Dom?
Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It was, and then my man had the tights that said Sucio on the back. I was like, which is dirty in Spanish. Bro, he is killing the game. Shouts to Sammy winning this match. There were so many spots to call here. I think my personal favorite was the tackle through the barricade. Braun Breaker is just a beast. The the Dom save when Braun Breaker went to do the what was it, the splash off the apron onto the table.
Mm-hmm.
There was so many feats of athleticism here.
Mm-hmm.
Penta jumping out, like doing the like just landing on Braun Breaker randomly, like my man was just out there barely expecting it and got hit. It was a great match. I was very surprised and pleased to see Sammy win. And then we get the tease in the back. Karrion Kross. The rumors is that Karrion Kross is out of there. Then if that's true, then why they keep using him? I feel like they're going to give us something. What do you think? I went down a rabbit hole and found this theory that is not mine, so I'm not going to take credit for it, that somehow it's going to be Sammy winning, and then Seth cashing in on him, and then something like that. But I don't think it's going to happen. But I am for Sammy doing his thing. Hopefully he'll make it to the finals. Hopefully he wins. But honestly, there was a name that stood out to me that as soon as I saw his name in it, I was like, oh, okay, I know what time it is. Let me see if you look at the bracket.
I'm looking at the bracket right now.
Look at what name jumps out at you, who's normally not in these things.
We're missing one person.
No. Who's normally not in these types of tournaments? He was quoted. He was mentioned in the beginning of the show as the best they got.
Ooh.
CM Punk said it. Come on, man.
Oh, Cody.
Yeah. The fact that Cody's in there, I'm like, oh, okay. So, I see what time
you're thinking Cody and Sammy in the finals, because Sammy's gonna be in that match. Sammy's gonna be in the finals. Sammy winning is in Saudi. So Sammy always got some type of big role when they go out there.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just know I think my pick to win is Cody or whoever the question mark is. I don't know who the question mark is.
I need whoever that Raw superstar is to be somebody good. Because I'm not gonna lie. I
want it to be Jay.
Ooh. Okay.
Yep.
I like that.
They'd be like, I'm the last competitor.
Because if it's not Jay, because I like Jay, that's a good one. Especially
I don't want it to. I don't want it to be the guy that everybody's remembered.
Who?
I don't want it to be Dragunov. I don't think Dragunov.
No, I honest to God, I want it to be Woods.
Okay.
Because they disrespected him on the first go around.
Okay. But he's a tag champ. I don't know if they're gonna do that.
What that mean? Liv lost the title, came back, won the title the next night, then left and did a movie and still had the tag title.
Got you. Well, we'll see. I know it's very interesting. And
with that name not being there, for sure.
Yeah. And I really have high hopes for who it is. I don't know, man. I'm very intrigued.
Yes.
Hopefully it's not Dragunov. If it is, that's cool. I like him as a competitor, but it's like, man, you can bring him back whenever. Not for this.
For me, it's some names that don't have to be in this tournament.
Okay.
I don't need Shinsuke.
Who jumped? Okay.
I don't need Shinsuke.
But hey, man, they were saying he was going after Mania, right? Look at that. Look what happened there. He's still around.
Hey, look, I love to see it. I don't need Sheamus.
Got you. But he needs something to do.
But he does.
First of all,
him and Rusev fighting, that's going to be the big part of their match.
Yeah.
It's going to be him and Rusev going at it. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I'm cool with everybody else. I'm cool with Randy being there, especially because he got screwed last year.
Yep.
His shoulders were not down.
So what do you think? So moving on from that, we had Liv Morgan confront Nikki Bella.
I love it.
You love it?
Heck yeah.
It's funny because Nikki Bella looks like she lost a step, dog. It looked like she was a fish out of water yesterday. Like Liv Morgan schooled her last night. She came off like $1 million, like, yo, get the hell out of my ring type deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who do you think you are up in here with some mom jeans and shit, like sparkles on it? Like, man, get out of here.
Bro,
like,
Nikki didn't even look like Nikki.
Yeah.
Where's the Air Force or not? Where's the Air Force Ones? Where's the Jordan ones?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Nikki, and I mean, it's not what I look for.
I think this is going to lead. I hope it doesn't lead to a Saudi match. I hope it leads to
Evolution
match.
I think Evolution.
Yeah. But it might. I hope it does. But I found out that day that the Bellas Nikki is local to Arizona. So I think that's why they jump started the push. But
the first thing is, I thought Bree lived
in Washington.
Is it Washington? Her and Daniel Bryan live.
No, I'm not sure. They might both be local to Arizona. Who knows?
Who knows? But I will say, like, part of me feels like that wasn't supposed to happen. Like, Liv wasn't supposed to come out there.
Really? You think they just sent her like let's shake this up. Let's shake this up.
Let's do it. So yeah.
First of all, she botched Stephanie's name. She called him Vaquer. And I was like, bro, you're Spanish too. Like,
what are you doing?
Or Vaquer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wow. But anyway, so the match of the night, a banger that I didn't think we were gonna get. Man, Mr. 4 letters, 1 word, Yeet Uso versus Gunther. First of all, the match was fire.
Match was great. The match was
great. I saw his son Jace, I believe, with him coming down. And then, like, I initially was like, oh, he ain't gonna lose. He's bringing his son.
He's bringing his son out.
But after the match, I was like, wait a minute. It makes more sense that he brought his son.
Why?
Because this is gonna be the last final as champ entrance, and he never brought Jace out with it. So he was like, all right, let me cap off this run to give him one final memory. You know what I mean?
It's bullshit. I hear you, but it's bullshit.
Like, I don't think. But man, as soon as that happened, I literally was like, man, somebody need to send a kite to Rikishi. Rikishi's gonna wow the hell out, and I was completely right. Out. That man jumped out the window, dog.
I still gotta watch it, bro, because I know he
jumped out the window. He crashed out so hard, and it's almost like, man, you used to be a wrestler, right? Like, all the things that you're like, if I was him, if I like as him being my son, like, none of that is possible, dog. Like, Kishi, at no point in your career you could have gone back. They'd be like, nah, man, I ain't doing this. Like, bro, relax. But yes, Gunther is now the 2-time world heavyweight champion, and man, he came off like a monster. Pose in the ring, everybody was shocked. My homeboy Derek was with us, no relation to this Derek. And Ran, if you go on Mega Ran at on Twitter, you see his reaction is like, I was just speechless. I was like, all right, he's gonna wiggle out, he's gonna somehow super kick. But when that man, they don't even do the 80s thing. I was like, when the arm just dropped, I thought they were gonna do it 3 times, and on the third time it's gonna be like
it's normally 3.
No, they did that 3. To Gunther. Gunther tapped. Excuse me.
It's like Gunther gave up.
Yeah,
but no, I feel like normally it's 3 because you get, like you just said, that last, and they hold it and they shake, and it's the whole moment.
Man,
but I ain't gonna hold you. Man.
A bunch of kids cried that day.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
Hey, you know what? I'm still gonna get the belt and those plates. That's still mission.
Oh, I mean, facts. Gotta get the plates. But my whole thing is, why y'all?
You're like, I have no words.
Listen,
I have no words.
Listen, he held the tag team or the IC title for like 2 or 3 weeks.
It was 28 days.
Literally.
He held this belt for 53 days.
54, I thought. Is it 53 or 54?
If he would have ended the night with it, it would have been 54.
Okay, because I'm like, I did the math. I was pissed. I was mad.
It's still a good run.
But it's like, at the same time, that's twice he done won his singles championships. Why are they having him lose it to the same person he beat?
Because Gunther is the monster heel. Seth is just a heel. Gunther's a monster heel. You got to have somebody that's a wrestling machine, dog.
Hear me out, though.
No gimmicks.
You remember right before the whole Jay thing with Gunther? Gunther was acting like a bitch because he was getting his ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther ain't undefeated like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Gunther, you know, like to quote Black Panther, he remembered who he was. Remember who you are.
I'm not gonna lie. I need like a heel turn, Jay, or something. I need something.
Nah, why?
I need something.
You don't need it. You don't need
bro,
it, dog.
Listen. Why in the world would y'all give this man the title just to hold it for a little bit?
Not a little bit, dog. He held it for a good while.
20 something days. He didn't even make it to. He barely made it to the middle of the year with the world title.
Hey man,
they didn't give him a full 3 months.
Hey man,
like 7 more days. That's all he needed to hit 60.
Hey,
bro, it hurts. It hurts my heart a little bit.
I know it hurts my heart too, but you know.
But you're not gonna see Jay's. I don't think he's out of the title picture.
I don't think he's out of the title picture.
I feel like he'll definitely hold gold again. But yeah, man. Like, I mean, and like Shane said in our group message, you know, there's been short reigns. You know, I've seen when
it was not a Miz reign. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not a Rey Mysterio reign either. When Rey Mysterio won the WWE title, and the next night, the beginning of the show, John Cena came back and took that title from him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is true, but just, you know, it's not what I wanted to see as a fan, since this is a fan show by fans for fans, you know. So that's what it is.
I'm looking forward to the rest of the wrestling week. I think we're cruising to Crown Jewel. I am happy that we did not get Goldberg music like at the end of the show. I'm very happy. This was a great wrestling week.
You know he's coming back at some point. And it makes sense now with Gunther with the gold, bro. It makes sense with Gunther with the gold, though, now. Because you remember last time. You remember Bad Blood? You was there. You was there. I was there. They hold a little confrontation.
I don't want this. I don't want this to happen. If I don't speak about it, it's not going to come to fruition.
Look, Beetlejuice, goddamn.
No. I rebuke you, sir. I rebuke you. Listen. So to wrap up the show, we're just going to go over the results of what happened in NXT.
All right.
So we had All Eagle Ethan Page versus Sean Legacy for the North American title. All Ethan Page wins by pinfall, and then post-match we get Ricky Saints jumping him, which I think is going to lead to his rematch at a certain point. Then we have JC Jane come out, cut a promo. She gets into a fight with a couple different people. We got a segment with the Calling. Octagon Jr. and Psycho Clown appeared in the crowd. I think that is money. We get the Culling versus Josh Briggs and Yushika Inamura, and the Culling wins with the Dominator against Josh Briggs. Good match overall. I caught the tail end of that. We get a video package of Mariah May, who's now called Blake Monroe. I like it. You know, Mariah May was an AEW name, so I don't care. I'm glad that the talent is actually there. We got a Lash Legend match. She wins by the sidewalk slam. We get JC Jane retaining against Lainey Reed, which is a call-up talent from Evolve. I honestly think that this was a great match. I think NXT is pushing forward with new talent in terms of the women. People are on the way in terms of they're just moving things. And of course, we have AJ Francis and Casey Navarro roll up to introduce themselves as First Class to claim the tag titles. I like it. AJ Francis acted like he ran the NXT locker room last time he was there. Elijah appears and backs Casey and AJ off for them to leave. We get a no quarter catch crew segment. Basically, I believe Javon Evans is now aligned with Miles. He just left quarter catch crew. What else is of note here? Jasper Troy versus Obafemi. I saw that match in its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about big meaty men slapping meat, dog. Jasper Troy makes Obafemi look small. And there was a moment. I want you to go back and watch this match. He grabs him with a spine buster and tosses him like he's a cruiserweight. Obafemi is a beast, and he tossed a man that's bigger than him. And I'm not saying fatter. I'm talking about bigger. It's like it looks like if Obafemi like took a mushroom in Mario and became bigger and stronger. But Obafemi tossed that man like he's nothing. Got the pinfall, and that's how you end it. Like when I say he is a dominant champion, I don't even know who's gonna beat him. Honestly. Like at a certain point, I wanted Javon Evans, but now at this point, it will be silly if Javon Evans beats him.
But why do you say that?
Because he's like 5 times his size.
But
like Obafemi has shown that even hurt, because he was hurt yesterday,
he
still is better than anybody else right now.
On the main roster, smaller guys have lost to bigger guys.
Yeah.
Batista lost to Ray before. So I mean it's possible.
It's possible, but it's gonna have to be really well booked.
Oh yes, for sure. But NXT does book stuff well.
Yeah.
Definitely glad to see AJ Francis though. Formerly known as Top Dollar, back in a WWE atmosphere.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad that he's out there, killing it. So
very cool guy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So that pretty much recaps our wrestling week. Is there anything that you're looking forward for the rest of the week? You said you're looking forward to SmackDown.
Yep, got to see SmackDown. Need to see Ron Killings on there saying something, doing something. I need to see it. So other than that, just gearing up for the next pay-per-view, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's gonna be Saudi. It's gonna be 10 a.m. for those on the West Coast, like you.
Yes.
And it's gonna be 1 p.m. for me. I'm looking forward to the show just based on the fact that it's Cena Punk. I'm always down for that match. So, guys, this has been the latest episode of Bumps and Bruises podcast. Hopefully next week we'll be joined by Shane. Everybody has a busy life. Shane, unfortunately, had scheduling conflicts. He'll be here definitely next week. I hope so. Once again, I'm Marcos at the Sunset Kid 56. To my left or right, Derek, aka Bama 1392. We'll catch you guys next time. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you at the next episode.